life turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, and transform all of our lives.
Neurons activate and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing. So the entire body can silently and without moving receive what is happening elsewhere through a process of direct observation, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar.
And the Akashic readings is not a prediction, but are readings from the where creation and destruction happen simultaneously. In the dimension, there is no past, no present, and no future. That is why what you called as happening and yet to happen is clearly already recorded.
So now, let us understand who is the Supreme Consciousness, who is manifesting Devi Parashakti for each and every one of us.
So the supreme point of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, his divine holy, is the reviver of Kailasa in Hindu civilization nation, and the supreme point of predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. And the supreme point of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based activities a lifestyle for humanity.
And supreme concept of Hinduism is the 33rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Sarvadevitam, is the incumbent emperor of the Suryavanshi Samrajam, is the Mandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada, the largest apex monastic order.
And the supreme point of Hinduism is also the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Dharmamukti Swargapuramadinam, and is elected as the supreme point of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindus.
As a teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed, read, and watched, and has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, and has over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded, when over 10,000 hours of discourse delivered. The supreme concept of Hinduism has enriched and enriched over 1 billion lives digitally, and is the foremost respected commentator of all sacred scriptures.
And the supreme point of Hinduism is also honored as a leader of Hinduism, the most recognized Hindu leader, the reviver of 108 ancient Hindu sampradayas, including the Rudrakanyas and Rudras, Rishis and Rishikas, Bhairavas and Bhairavis and Sannyas, and is the establisher of the largest Hindu university, Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University, in the world with 55 of over 170 pitas, and is the collector of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million Pamli scriptures, and over 20. And as we said before, the supreme point of Hinduism is dress and much more. And now, with that, we will now be entering into the next segment of this program where all of us will be seeing the live demonstration of the extraordinary manifestation, the manifestation of the extraordinary. We'll be demonstrating and sharing with all of you the experiences and results of the extraordinary manifestation awakened in us through the Diksha, the initiation by the Supreme Point of Hinduism. And in today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan, all of you will also be receiving the initiation into these extraordinary Shaktis and into the powers of their life with the grace and blessings of the Supreme Point of Hinduism. And all of you will be manifesting the following powers of third eye, which is seeing with eyes blindfolded, and also powers like body scanning, remote vision, the power of levitation, vitalization, teleportation, and much more. Now, some of you might be third eye is located and how it works. So, just as you would with your 2 eyes. Now, let's exactly our Shaktis. What are these Shaktis that we are speaking about? What is their source and how they manifest? So, in the Veda Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis, the divine powers. And manifesting powers are described as a system, a method, and a science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. And the Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are a divine and you need to manifest the divine, not that you are a man and you need to reach the divine. Now, many of you might have heard the term Siddhis as a very common term used for any type of external manifestation. So let us look at the exact difference between Shaktis and Siddhis. You might think they are the same, but they are actually not the same. The Guru and are a source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are powers or penance for enlightenment and are on the path of enlightenment. And the Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after the initiation by the avatar and are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not permanent and may divert you from enlightenment. And the source of all these Shaktis, Paramashiva, is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate, which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, ranging beyond time, space, form, and causality. And as the fundamental base of Abhai cosmic acts of Shrishti, which is creation, Sthiti, which is sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, which is rejuvenation, Throbhava, which is pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, which is liberating grace for all living entities. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization nation, and the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. So ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been a cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. And it was where the science of enlightenment and powers was lived and taught as a lifestyle. And for the first time in modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogis. And here you can all now see the Guru Parampara, the lineage of Gurus. And this is how, through initiation by enlightened Gurus, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age by his Gurus, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the initiations and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of our manifestation from disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra, Sri Vidya, Yoga and Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushti Yoga, Paramashiva Jnana, Paramashiva Vijnana, and much more. And you can all also see all the various enlightened beings, all the enlightened beings and Gurus of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can see Mataji, Bhagavananda Puri, Pundi Swamigal, Annamalai Swamigal, and many more. So now we can awaken these divine Shaktis in us. How beautifully says that every ultimate
Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidences or pramanas, as said in Sanskrit. So the first is the Shastra Pramana, which is the eternal, unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures. And then the next is the Apta Pramana, which are the experiences and results of Aptas or authorities of Hinduism, where the Vedas have time tested and verified the sciences. And the next is the Atma Pramana, which is an account from the life of the Supreme Point of Hinduism, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of the power manifestation. And then the Pratyaksha Pramana, evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. Now, some of you might be wondering what exactly are these Vedas and Agamas in which Paramashiva has described all of these sciences in elaborate detail. So the Vedas are the ultimate superior authority for Hindus and are pure science where the ultimate truths are explained. And the Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology and applied sciences are expanded. And the Vedas and Agamas, Veda-Agamas, are given the status of as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate. So now, let us all get ready to witness a very unique and very exciting demonstration of the powers of third eye. After we go through the pramanas for the power of third eye, which is seen with eyes blindfolded. So the Shastra Pramana for the power of third eye comes from the Vijnana Vaidava Tantra. Kapalantar Manonisya Tishtan Militalo. This verse is by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without ending the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source, Paramashiva. The Apta Pramana, where Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye during the revelation of the Hindu Purana Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavan power of third eye, so Arjuna can behold Krishna's Vishwarupa darshan. Drashtu anenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishva. These physical eyes of yours, therefore I grant you divine third eye vision. Behold my cause. So this comes from the level. It's completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Krishna through his third eye. And the next, the Atma Pramana for this power in Swami's own words, he beautifully says, the first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 directions, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel and experience all of that as me. And the next is the Pratyaksha Pramana, the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. So here you can see study measures where when doing daily activities, there is high activity measured in the brain where the third eye is located. And when in deep samadhi state, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the rest of the brain is active. Seeing a positive initiative about it. And the next is the Sakshi Pramana, where this rare and sacred science of third eye waking is being incarnation of Paramashivoham Hinduism, embodies the most profound yogic states that surpass all the bounds of time, space, and matter. And he is gifting this pure and great science of third eye awakening, along with many other spiritual sciences, through initiations to millions of people. And everyone who has witnessed who have been initiated into these powers have actually witnessed the extraordinary manifestation and results in their day-to-day life. So now, let us all get ready to witness a very unique and very exciting demonstration of the powers of third eye. Yes. So now let us get into the live Sakshi Pramana of the powers of third eye. So here with me, I have this eye band, which in front of light enter around the eyes. And my eyes will sit into these two sockets over here. And it will also be covering the bridge of the nose, the eye band. And this eye band is actually certified by ophthalmologists, and it is usually given to people who are suffering from insomnia so they can have better sleep. So this eye band will be covering and blocking all the light around my eyes. And it's usually said that without light, one cannot see. So this eye band will be put on my eyes. And once that is done, any of you watching us live on YouTube, you can put your comments in the live YouTube comment section. You can put anything that you would like me to read. And now a volunteer will be putting on this eye band on my eyes. Yes, so now the eye band has been put to my no gaps anywhere around. Section will be projected in front of me. Comments now. We will be projecting the comments. The comments will be projected in front of me, and we'll also be projecting it for all of you. Anything that you would like me to read, it can be a sequence of emojis, numbers, letters, words, anything. So yes, Ma, we already have quite a few comments. We have a comment from Sulaim Goilaumi. Hi, and then a YouTube emoji, and then a loading emoji, and so it's like a white box, and then something is there inside it. And Ma Stephanie Gators has put a heart emoji with hello Ma, and then a heart emoji, then she has typed hello Ma, and then a smiley emoji with its eyes closed, and then namaskar emoji with yellow hands. And Ma Celine has now given a contribution to Kailasa of 1 CHF. Thank you, Ma, for your contribution to Kailasa. And above Ma Celine's comment, we actually have a comment from Stephanie Dieters, who has put a sad emoji and says, I and Co are making big censures and deletions everywhere now to allow that Vasanta Vidya Current has put gratitude to Amma Parashakti, bless me to manifest health, wealth, completion with relationships and healing power. And above that, she has put Parashakti. And yes, there are many more comments. And now the latest comment is from Ma Nitya Kshipra Prasad Nikananda, who has put baby emoji, smiley emoji, which is a smaller emoji than every that it's wearing, and there are two highs like that. And Ma Puja, and after that there's a emoji which has a body or with its hand. And Ma Puja Kumar now has put a comment sequence of emoji with many fruits, blue. Yes, so you can all put any other comments also that you would like me to. It can be anything. Yes, now we have another comment from Aslin, who has put me gus plan test, which is in a different language, I guess Spanish or French. And after that, she has put a sapling emoji. It has two leaves, and then there's mud, and it's like a small sapling which has two leaves. And maybe Aslin. And anyone else also, if you would like to put anything, you can put emojis, numbers, letters, words, sentences that don't make sense at all, or a proper sentence. And you can also put different languages, just like how Masalanji has now put a different language. Even all of you can put various languages. Gone back saying yes, it's Spanish, and then two hands like that, an emoji with two hands like that. Of body scanning. Okay, to the next power, the power of body scanning. Now the I-band will be removed. I request the volunteer to now remove the I-band. And all of you can see as the I-band is being removed. Yes, so all of you can see. And now we will be moving to the next power, the power of body scanning. Yes, so let us get into the next power, the power of body. So for those of you who might be joining us newly now, the power of body scanning is where one awakens to whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. And the best part is that we can scan and provide solutions through awakened third eye in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshmatarani cha tatvani yani nilayam dijyate para. And the translation for the list constitutive principles of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole universe simultaneously consist of the six. One becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi Adi Shakti, is revealed, and supreme power manifestation happens. And the next is the Apta Pramana, which comes from the life of a Siddha whose name is Tereya. So Tereya was a Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Agastya. And one day a man suddenly comes to Agastya for healing. Agastya then uses the power of scanning and reveals that there is a small Terai. And once the surgery is completed successfully, the person is healed and cured of the headache, thus gaining the name Tereya. Is the Atma Pramana, which was revealed by Swamiji himself on the 20th. He revealed how he uses the power of body scan. Paraphrasing his words, only when I had the multiple component quantity in my different organs, it was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used diagnostic methods instead of medical facilities to study the body condition due to the poisoning. Through body scanning, I found out what the problems, imbalances had happened, and where balances had to be done. I used allopathy as a second opinion, happening through the initiated disciples of the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So he brings out of Tao manifested the power of body scanning. And each of you will also be able to manifest these extraordinary Shaktis. So now let us get into the live demonstration of this power. So any of you who would like a body scan can put your comments in the YouTube comment section and request for body scanning, and we will be doing a body scan for you. Yes, so we have a comment from Pooja Kumar, who has asked scanning of why I have phobia, of fear of cats. You have fear towards cats, and you have the fear of cats. It is actually not a phobia, but you do have lots of fear, and that is actually because of something that happened, an incident that happened in your childhood at around the age of 4 or 5. Um, the solution that I was able to see was to start consciously breaking it. You don't have to physically go near cats or conscious to break it, but remove that thought kind of that remove that fear of cats from within, and also do the root pattern completion and try recalling, um try reliving and reliving, do that process, and just try remembering that incident where you cats when you were it. I'm able to start getting healed, and so this is what I was able to see for you now. And Aina Zabotanzaya has asked, is the hydrogen water which I'm drinking time to time, is it healing for your brain and body? Yes, and now I'll be doing a scan for that. Yes, so Ayana Savotan Zaya, I was able to see that um, it is not something bad for your body, but it is not having any, there's no, I was able to see that your body is not reacting in a good way to it. And right now, it is not creating any major issues or anything. But in the future, as your body changes and the organs get, like, as you grow a little older, it can become slightly uh, hard on the body, and it will also, it can affect it. So I was able to see what Parameshwar neem juice acid water. You don't need to add soap in keeping your body completely healthy. This hydrogen water, if you need to or you want to, for just maybe once a week, it is fine, but not a lot. Otherwise, in the future, it can create problems. That was what I was able to see. And that was what Parameshwar revealed. So yes, Ma Pooja Kumar has gotten back saying, I'll do a body scan for Ma Lang, and Ma Akshipra Prasad Nithyananda has also asked. So once that is done, we will get to you again. So yes, now I'll be doing a body scan for you. You have asked. Yes, Ma, now I'll be scanning, doing body scan for you. Not anything that is affecting you physically or mentally, but I was able to see that whenever you have any type of feeling that something is going to be bad, or something that you are doing is bad or shouldn't be done, just think, even for normal actions that you do, not necessarily only when you feel this way, but any action that you do, you should feel from, and if you feel that it is not right, you can contemplate for some time and see, or if it should not be done, you can contemplate for some time, but also see how Swamiji would do it, how, if that situation comes up, how to deal with it consciously and in the best way. So just contemplate for some time, and even if both logically and even if one, even within you feel that it shouldn't, if it should not be done, you can contemplate and just chant the Mahavakya when you're will help you feel. Just do this and you will see that the feeling of something bad is going to happen or something that you are doing shouldn't be done will ask for body scan for your regular menstrual cycle. Yes, so now I'll be doing a body scan for that. Yes, so Mark Shipra Prasad Kananda, what I was able to see was that actually in your stomach and in your intestine, fluid being like it's like a greenish, that has to, and it's actually due to that, like that is affecting the irregular menstrual cycle. But the solution that I was able to see for that, has that fluid actually has to come out and should be clean. And the solution that I was for this is you should start doing the Panchakriya regularly, and also you should start uh, having lots of hot water for the next at least 2 weeks. Every day drink hot water, and that will help in um, cleaning and getting rid of the fluid in the stomach and intestine. And start doing Panchakriya more regularly, and that will help in healing you. So this is what I was able to see for you. I'll be doing a scan for you. What I was able to see was that you are actually, whenever like a thought current or thought comes like that, you are actually encouraging that thought. So whenever that thought, anything, whether it's comparison or self-hatred, anything negative, any negative thought that comes, at least many times you may not remember, but when you remember, immediately drop it. And even if at that point you don't remember and later at that mood, just immediately sit at that point in time, chant the Mahavakya for a few minutes, and just complete with and drop the thought current at Swamiji's feet. And you will see that slowly when you start doing this, automatically those Puja Kumar, Silayan and Mark Prasad Nikananda has gone back saying thank you. Yes, thank you, Mom. And please stay tuned for the next segment. We will now be moving to the next segment of this program about Devi Parashakti. Who is Devi Parashakti? So please stay tuned for this next segment and also the further segments coming. The divine feminine consciousness about who is Devi Parashakti. So we'll be Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayana Manikya Mauli Spurate Taranayaka Shekharam Smitamukhim Maruham Panibhyamali Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Vibratim Saumyam Ratna Gatasta Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam. And the translation for this verse is: the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in a vermilion red body, with the triple eyes sporting a crown of rubies studded with a crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. And another Dhyana shloka, which also comes from the Lalita Sahasranama Dhyana shloka, says: Arunam Karunatarangatakshiim Dhritapaşankuşapuşpabanachapam Animadibiravrita mayukaihi rahamityeva vibhavaye bhavanim. And the translation for this verse is: I meditate on the great empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion. She holds the noose, the goat, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as anima for rays, and she is the self within me. And Devi Parashakti is the ultimate, the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in, and the source where the Big Bang and black holes go on and on, in which all of us are in even now, and in which all of us are. And our Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Mission, gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing and future. And in the words of Devi Parashakti herself, Devi Parashakti introduces herself beautifully, and she says how she is manifesting as the Nijavatar of the Supreme Point of Hinduism. Beautifully she reveals, raising as Omkara, expressing as Kailasha Swami who is in Kailasha, Sri Purachintamani, Parashakti, Parameshwari, everyone, to best goodness, Hiranya Garbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samrajya Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi. Taking the form of Nithyananda, I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion I am blessing. Listen, people, to do good to all of you. I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. And Devi Parashakti continues to reveal, raising in Omkara, blood manifesting as source of existence, powers of existence, Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Icha, Kriya, and Jnana, growing as four, expanding as five Panchabhutas, beyond six chakras, filled, expanding as eight directions, existing as Nayogud, Parashodasi, Meenakshi, in the form of every one of you. Paramashivoham, Parashakti. She is there on your screen, so you can receive her in a very traditional way. You can keep two beet leaves, one banana, one betel nut, and a coin in front of the screen as you watch Devi Parashakti. Now, some of you might be wondering what exactly importance. So, in the Hindu tradition, traditional dakshina, it is given in temples as an offering to the deities, or even when someone comes home for the first time, or when you see someone for the first time, it is given as part of the items. And even when you are receiving a deity at your home at the beginning of the of, at the beginning of any festival, when you're bringing the deity home, it is usually offered. And it can be the lowest value. And in India, it can even be just 1 paise. In the US, it can even be just a cent. Swamiji says, I'm not trying to keep even 1 cent, it is okay. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. Even 1 paise is okay. And once the darshan is over, you can do namaskar, offer your gratitude, and eat the banana, the beet leaf, and the beet leaf, taking it as prasadam immediately. And the coins that you collect, you can send it to the Los Angeles. You can collect the coins and send it to the Los Angeles temple. In a few days, you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really Devi Parashakti is there. You will not take the Devi darshans for granted. The rituals will break your monotonous unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful cognitions. It will break your unconscious behavior. Now you can all see how you can set up your tambulam. So you can arrange the two beet leaves, the betel nut, the banana, and the coin on a plate and keep it in front of the screen. You can such as a few fresh flowers, kumkum, turmeric, a small leaf. You can arrange it in a plate. Keep it in front of the screen as you watch Devi Parashakti. So the next time you are setting up to receive Devi Parashakti, you can set up your own set of tambulam and receive her in a very traditional way. And now, with that, we will be moving to the next segment of this program where all of us will be seeing what exactly Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Akashic readings for all of us on all the various problems that humanity is going through right now, especially for the past 1.5 to 2 years due to the pandemic. So we will be seeing what Devi Parashakti has revealed on the cause and solutions for all of these problems, and how important it is for us to follow what Devi Parashakti has revealed. So let us first look at the compassion of. So in the Guru Paduka Stotram, composed by Adi Shankaracharya, the very first verse describes how the Guru Padukas, the sacred feet of the Guru, is the boat that helps us cross the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of samsara. Aitabhyam Guru Bhakti Dabhyam Vairagya Samrajya Pujanabhyam Namo Namaha Shri Guru Padukabhyam. And the salutations, the sandals of my Guru, which is the boat which helps, which endows me with the sense of devotion to worship of which I attain the dominion of renunciation.
Many of us are the vastness of the suffering that surrounds us during the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the dire need of hope.
And it is at this time that the Mother comes to elevate the suffering of humanity.
It's at this time that the Supreme Master of Hinduism, the incarnation of cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having a responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, the cosmic deluge.
And Devi Parashakti is herself miracles in our lives, removing all our pain and suffering and much more. And Devi has not just individually but also to humanity.
Various revelations of profound sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues, decoding natural disasters such as fires, floods, and more, and even the twisted human conspiracies and underground wars, which have not.
Segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred revelation, which has manifested precisely as the same Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and start following as Devi Parashakti.
So now let's look at Devi Parashakti's revelation and understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed for the whole of humanity. Let us watch the video on the 8th to protect yourself from COVID-19.
Parashodasi Meenakshi, Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம் உங்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் நலார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். 8 வழியின் மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் சமூகமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3 நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4 நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5 சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை நிகழ்த்தல் 6 நிறைவான பூரண மனத்து நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7 பூரணமாய் பரிபூரணமாய் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8 எனும் 8 முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் தாக்கமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றிடமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீர்கள். 8இல் 1 செய்தாலும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்பு.
So let us understand Devi Parashakti's revelation now in English. The Devi revealed Oh, human media, wherever I am residing, worshiping me by doing the fire walking, applying turmeric in the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on me every day, being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss.
Doing ajapa japa of the cosmic sound, Shiva, Shiva, or forgetting, in the Arunachala Spurana that blossoms as aham, aham, in the state of Ananda Spurana. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have effects of corona. They don't have fear and delusion. You will live with prosperity. One of these 8 ways, I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. Don't have fear, O people. Be blessed.
Protect all of humanity from COVID-19. Let us now review each of these methods and understand the science and benefits of each method.
So let's see the first method, which is praying and meditating on Devi Parashakti. So there's established by Healthline, and it gives 12 science-based benefits of meditation. Controls anxiety, promotes emotional health, it enhances self-awareness, lengthens attention span, may reduce age-related memory loss, can generate kindness, may help fighting addictions, improves sleep, helps control pain, can decrease blood pressure, and is accessible everywhere and anywhere.
And in this article from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, it states meditation has not just an effect on the mental well-being, but also has an impact on the physical well-being as well.
And another study by Cambridge University Press reiterates the necessity of meditation during the times of COVID, the crisis such as COVID-19. So here you can see the study by Cambridge University Press.
A study published in Everyday Health studying how prayer and spirituality protect the emotional health. It states that it offers a 5-year report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers followed 191 people with congestive heart failure for 5 years, they found that those who reported feeling spiritual peace and who also made some healthy lifestyle changes were significantly more likely to live longer than their peers. And people with major depressive disorder or chronic medical illness who high levels of religiosity, July 25th, depression and anxiety.
So now let us, the avatar himself directly demonstrates how meditation directly impacts our mind and our brain.
Participates and encourages scientific researchers to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President, COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, and his team invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state of his enlightenment.
When Swamiji came, I have requested him to do one thing. I asked him, would you be willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process? He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. So we did that because if scientific findings are verifiable, they're replicable. You can replicate them, duplicate them. So Swamiji went through those sessions and we found some interesting findings.
In PET scan, they inject a radioactive dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is something very interesting. It shows the frontal lobes getting more active. The frontal lobe is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the here with you. This is alert, non-meditative. The second one is 30 meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up significantly right here, right in the middle, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches deeper. What's interesting was Swami was inside, and that's the last part of that one. See that light right here? So what's interesting was I've never seen that before in my life. So the other parts I've seen may not be to the extent that Swamiji showed, but this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine. Our brain is involved. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. And when you have any transmission messages of pleasure, it basically evokes pleasure. If you eat the same thing is with visual pleasures you have, beautiful people. But what's interesting is that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is a dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could, at will, go in and out of those states. Those are some of the findings I want to share with you. There's so much more talk about physiology of mind and brain and the body. It's a fascinating field that this is something that all human beings can relate to, can apply in our own lives. Not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, has been baffling the medical world, curing diseases from migraine to cancer. Qualified people are also initiated to become healers. The complete report of the research conducted on Nithyananda can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena.
Yes, and now let us look at what the Supreme Pontiff of Newton has revealed about the power of
If you are not is the best thing in your life, you are tortured, you are abused, your divine rights are violated. If you are inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit that 30-40 minutes and melt down by feeling connection and to bust your stress. I tell you, prayer is the best stress buster. Deep feeling connection and tears rolling in your eyes and melting down. Prayer to Paramashiva. Intense yearn Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, every day puja is an ultimate recharging experience. If you do every day puja, the kind of the stress-free life you will live, your whole biological clock will be aligned to Kailasa. I tell you, I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long. Not just long, happy. In my whole life, it is Nitya Puja, Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Every day puja, relating with the deities is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. When I sit with my deities, dress up, talk to them, intensely pray, deeply connect and pray. Understand? You do not know the power of Archavatara. God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. Living avatar can do to you, an avatara can do. Atma Linga I am giving to all of you. Literally.
Yes, and the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is surrendering to Devi through social media. So what is this? During the Akashic readings, Devi Parashakti gives us the opportunity to connect with her through various social media platforms and attends individually to our prayers and showers us with blessings and blessings. Let us now see how we can connect with Devi Parashakti through social media.
So on YouTube, and then you can ask your questions in the comment section.
Yes, and the next way is by liking and following the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page. And then during the live Parashakti Akashic reading, asking your questions in the live video in the comment section, and you can ensure that Devi will surely attend to you, whether she answers you directly or not.
On this Twitter handle. And you can ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag AskTheAvatar.
Yes, and the next way is by connecting with Devi on Instagram. You can follow Sri Nithyananda on Instagram, and you can ask your questions in the comment section of the video or of the photo. The WhatsApp chat box that pops up, and you can ask your questions directly here.
So now let's watch a video where Devi Parashakti is blessing people. An introduction to Devi Parashakti.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி வியாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன் மனமாந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எலா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி.
Yeah, and you can ensure that you and are protected during pandemic.
Exciting.
Yes. So, Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed that fire walking is an alchemy process. And in the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism itself, our rishis and munis have been adepts and masters in every field, whether health or keeping this every field. So all the vratams, the pujas, the spiritual techniques, religion is highly scientific and directly useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all because that fire walking time, that's virus or any problem. It's actually a powerful technique. It's a very powerful technique followed in those days, especially during this.
You are protected already from corona problem. You will not be affected at all. Corona will not work on you. It will not affect you. And don't worry, it's a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's 11 feet length and burning live charcoal on which you are supposed to walk, with the traditional powerful music which activates your limb system. That mukulam, we call it, in the back of the neck. This music will feel like it is hitting the back of your neck. System will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, you should walk on fire. Not just like that, you will walk. You must walk. Trigger the detox system and then walk on the fire. 11 feet fire.
And if you do for one fire walking, you are absolutely protected from corona. Pray to Mahamariam and do the fire walking. That is it. It's like a traditional, powerful vaccination. Pray to Parashakti Mahamari, do the Bhakti Vratam, and do this traditional fire walking. You are absolutely protected from coronavirus. No need to panic. Traditional vaccination, traditional, natural, organic, no bad side effect vaccination is the fire walking.
So now let us watch a video where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism speaks on the science behind firewalking. He reveals the science behind firewalking.
Means balancing the system and awakening the whole parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. Your cheeks, how they are sensitive, they don't become they lose sensitivity to the reality. But for a complete awakening, your whole body needs to be alive and experiencing the reality and ability to experience the higher consciousness. That is the reason we have the process of firewalking.
Where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself does the firewalking.
சத்தியம் காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே வேதங்கள் அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கர்மங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில்
now that we did about what Hinduism says about firewalking, let us look at what modern science has studied about firewalking. A study was conducted by the U.S. National Department of National Study of Medicine, the National Institute of Health, regarding the various effects and benefits of firewalking, and it found that firewalking increases levels of happiness and lowers fatigue levels in people who participated in firewalking versus those who did not participate in firewalking.
Now let us look at the mimic on your chest. Drinking neem.
And the benefits of neem juice as revealed by the three months of this itself.
Bididi. It is not, I'm not talking air, I'm talking from ground. From the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to live comfortably in that very land. It's only pouring Karumari's grace wherever we started ashram. Nature calm because we know biology, whole biology thinks. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter. Understand it, even if you don't react, the key. You will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice, you release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman who applies neem powder and takes bath, who applies hamai, that neem paste and turmeric powder. If a woman takes bath with that, she is equivalent to Mahamai. She is empty because she will be manifesting that same vibes of Karumari. People start doing all these activities like applying neem paste and taking bath, applying haritaki powder and taking bath, applying turmeric powder and taking bath, applying basma and taking bath, especially for men, basma, for women, neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by both all genders. That is different. If you want specific, I'll recommend the neem and turmeric for female body, basma for male body. Understand your whole biology things. Working on whole biology changes the whole life. So, now with this understanding the whole biology things, think Mahavagya. This is Ajapa Japa. Think Mahavagya. With the understanding your whole biology thinks. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Blessings to all of you. Start manifesting powers. Now,
And now that we've understood the benefits of neem juice as revealed by the three parts of Buddhism, let us look at what the benefits of turmeric are. Traditionally, turmeric is known for its anti-invasion of T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells. and curcumin can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. And this was reviewed in, this was published in the National Center for Biotechnology and Information in the US. And this research shows that turmeric can modulate the activation of various immune cells, as well as enhance the body's antibody response. So with a strengthened immune system, you will be much more likely to stay healthy and be able to maintain active lifestyle.
And a study by India.com says that neem can help you fighting against coronavirus.
And turmeric and neem are also effective against coronavirus, according to AKGM.
So now let us look at the fifth method, which is with a complete mind, applying banana peel and onions on your heels and going to bed, going to sleep.
So you can, it's a very simple way to do this. So you can just put onion on the peel or a banana peel and put a sock over it and go to sleep. And this will completely detoxify your entire body when you wake up. So this is a very simple method to detoxify your body and to protect yourself from COVID-19, of course. And in Medical Daily, it was published that onions contain a high amount of sulfur compounds, which not only give onions the recognizable smell, but are also powerful detoxifying agents. And with more than 100 sulfur-containing compounds, which are what cause the eyes to tear, onions can help prevent and treat ailments from diabetes to heart disease, which is why onions are very well known in Ayurveda and traditional medicine for their medicinal properties. And that is what they are used for. And in an article published in the Journal of Phytotherapy on the detoxifying effects of onion, it states that compounds from onion have been reported to have a range of health benefits, which includes anti-carcinogenic properties, anti-platelet activity, anti-thrombotic activity, anti-asthmatic, and antibiotic effects.
So now let us look at the sixth.
Yes, and let us first understand the science of untreated hypnotism.
Yes, you can project the video and play the video. So this works. I request them to be volunteered to project the video.
The brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit that imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people and every field, which may be measured by such instruments and encephalograph. This electromagnetic field is generated by the brain every time we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce congestion and ill health. Depression causes cancer, tumors, mental diseases, and lowering of the immune system, causing death through own willpower. Are intricate energy patterns which can be detected by sensitive equipment point individuals. These energy patterns are known as thought forms. Surprise are and release them into the environment. See them? The thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thought forms, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people about which they are usually unaware. This also explains why we sometimes take a sudden liking or dislike to a certain person directly on meeting them. We just catch their vibes. Unclutching is a guide for equanimity and enlightenment. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Just as bubbles in a fish tank rise from the bottom, our thoughts also rise in the same manner. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, the next bubble starts and the third bubble starts. Because the bubbles are rising at high speed, they look like a continuous stream. But our mind is. There is always a gap between neutral space between two thoughts is our original state, the pure silence. It is a state of pure consciousness, the state of God. Since the gap or the neutral space between two thoughts is too small, we think all thoughts are connected and form a shaft. But there is always between two thoughts. Tie a rope between two trees. The rope is the shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and tightens its grip on the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as if its life depends on it. Similarly, we connect thoughts and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, if I unclutch from this stick, I will fall and die. It's similar to the fear that if we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, independent and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, it may flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds, it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, we hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security, our education, our mind, our relationships, or our bank balance. That if we drop our mind, at that moment we can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be liberated. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is a story which explains, there is a huge tall tree, and in the tallest branch of the tree, sitting unclutched from there to various branches, eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above, silently, like Dakshinamurti, and feels, why I should not be like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tasty fruit, it forgets the bird sitting above it. In the same way, she keeps battling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits again and again. One day, as a small bird flies up higher and there is no difference between them both and realizes her original state. The small bird realizes that she also can be in the same state of the golden bird and become a Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions is unclutching.
Yes. So now, whenever you have time, you can take a few minutes and experience the space of untouching. You can sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Have your eyes closed and intensely chant the Mahavakya. And the seventh step is to do the ajapa japa of the cosmic sound, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. So a study conducted by the US National Library of Medicine on the benefits of chanting clearly establishes how doing the ajapa japa, the chanting, has a direct and positive benefit for the physical health and mental well-being. And the study correlates that chanting of the ajapa japa to the vagus nerve stimulation used as a treatment for depression and epilepsy. And another study conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto establishes that human intention research clearly depicts how, when water is being exposed to positive sound vibrations, the molecular formation in the water changes to a pleasant formation, whereas any negative sound vibration or words can disfigure or distort the water molecular formation. So here you can see the pictorial depiction of how the water molecular formations respond to different words being uttered. And this research shows the impact of few words on. But imagine what happens inside your body, which is composed of up to 60% of water when you chant the japa japa, the chanting of the powerful sacred mantras. So here you can see the pictorial depiction of molecular formation, metal music, or words like "I will kill you" or "you're a fool." And you can also see the water molecular formation of the water before and after a Buddhist prayer. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism beautifully says, if 10,000 people, not all islands, these are fundamental truths. When you start unclutching, Kailasa starts experiencing the joy, bliss of you unclutching. Nothing goes waste in this cosmos. So this is revealed by the Supreme Point of Hinduism himself. And if you would like to be a part of the Global Unclutching Initiative, you can register and sign up at this link, kailasa.tv. Method, the eighth method that Devi Parashakti has revealed, is to be in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting in the Arunachala Spurana that blossoms as aham in the Ananda Spurana. So just by the simple remembrance, the mere remembrance of the divine, just go beyond the getting. And with that, we now have a conclusion of this segment where we have learned the eight methods that they to the next segment of this program, where all of you will be learning how you can make your offerings and offer your gratitude to Devi Parashakti.
Now that we have Parashakti has revealed as the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19, Let us now enter into this next section. As they revealed, is to pray to Devi Parashakti and meditate upon her. Best way you can pray to Devi and connect with Devi is through these various offerings. So you can connect with Devi and offer your pure love and devotion to Devi Parashakti. So an offering is a giving of a divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness. And it consists of two aspects, the giving and the accepting. And only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete. Offerings are not made out of fear nor out of greed, but when in Avatar land, the offerings are a mere part of this grand Leela played out for the only purpose of enlightenment. And the Dhyana Shloka for Devi Parashakti states,
the Dhyana Shloka for Devi Parashakti. It says, Indu nibhaveda karavani nayanam syat pankaj varabhaya japakshara sarayuktam angahima bhushana vichitra vasanam syat tungama kutojjvala manonmani swarupam. And the meaning of this verse, moonlight blessing hands and one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated, wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another Dhyana Shloka from Shashini Bhavadanam Vedahastam Dadhanam Savye Padmam Varadam Apare Chabhayam Shakshamalam Divyairabharanair Vibhudhi Pujitam Devi Meva Manonmanim Pratidinam Kamarthadatrim Shubham. And the meaning of this verse, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon, and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And the next of the Shasana, the scriptural reference for the sacred element of gold. In the Hindu tradition, the various offerings to the divine, and it's considered very sacred. So let us see the scriptural reference for Janmanedam Hiranyam Agnirekam Priyatamam Bhabuva Somasyaikyam Insitasya Parapatata Apamekam Vedasam Veta Ahte Hiranyam Trividastavai Vishe. The trans by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was heard. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Yes. Sorry for the technical thing. Gold is a divine element. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of great. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. The gold is present in all scriptures, in the Hindu scriptures of the Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all the Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed. Everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual fees were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The street would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. This river was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever.
Yes, and the first offering that we have is the E-Hundi offering. This is a offering of a general donation. And just like you would in any temple, you would just offer a few dollars to the Hundi, and you can just offer out of your love and devotion to Devi Parashakti. This is a thank you for manifesting in your life. So it is described that Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. And if there is any fear in the minds of the devotee in the autumn, the season, but rather the autumn of our lives, when our thoughts turn more and more inwards and the role of the divine becomes much more known and clearly understood, the need for Devi worship becomes much stronger. Devi is described as the one who bestows happiness on all her devotees. You can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika, and your name shall be chanted during.
And the next offering is the Sankalpa Chanti, the offering of the conscious resolution. And a verse from the Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34 describes Prayaitan mohyate vishwam shaivam vishwam prasuyate saya chitta vijanam tushta rutim prayaschati. The meaning of this verse, it says, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess gives that knowledge that leads to salvation in materialistic sense, desires and wishes that you yearn for. So you can make the offering of the Sankalpa Chanti on the website www.kailasamila.com/sevas.
Next offering that we have is the Sahasranam Padnakatu, the offering of a gold inscription of the various names of Devi Parashakti. And Devi is known as Nama Parayana Pita, the one who likes the repetition of her various names. And in this offering, you can offer any one of Devi Parashakti's various names. And this is a very special puja and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And are not just the names of Devi Parashakti, but the various divine qualities of Devi Parashakti, whether it is her overflowing compassion or her infinite wisdom. Whichever quality of Devi you connect with most, you can offer that as a gold coin to Devi Parashakti and be blessed with the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Devi herself.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the finger ring, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And Devi Parashakti, Meenakshi, is described as the one who's adorned with pearls. And this verse describes Devi's splendor adorned with pearls. It says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham Shinjannupura kinkini manidharam padma prabhabhasura bhita palapradam girisutam vani rama sevitam. And the verse describes, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And if you resonate, if this description, the splendor of Devi Meenakshi Parashakti, wearing the garland of pearls, if this is the you hold dear in your heart, you can make the offering garland of pearls to be showered by the compassion and pure love of Devi Parashakti in all of your business endeavors.
Next offering is the Sarna Padma Pushpa, the gold. And in the Kamikagama, it's described that all the kalashas suitable thread and covered with the neat cloth. They should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. So you can see the significance of this golden lotus as it is used in many rituals in Hinduism of Paramashivoham. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involves the consecration of deities of worship using the lotus flower, lotus leaf, lotus pericarp, lotus petals, and lotus is a very divine flower. The Shakti of Paramashiva is called the lotus, is the lotus, and the disciple of Paramashiva is lotus ready to bloom. So you can offer the of Devi Parashakti herself amidst your in any and every adverse situation in your life. Just as the lotus blooms in the murky waters, you too shall bloom in any situation in your life.
Parashakti is the offering of the gold touring, the Swarnametti, and Devi are more beautiful than even the lotus flower. This verse describes, it says, Nakadhiditi Sanchanna Namajjanatamo Guna Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha. The translation for this verse, it says, you whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your feet overpower that of the lotus flower too. And you can offer the gold touring to Devi Parashakti to adorn her sacred lotus feet and be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of your life.
Next offering is the Svatna Mantika, the gold hairline jewelry. And the Mantika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully open. And Devi is described as Shuddha Sarvi Varshini, the one who makes the nectar flow in all of our nerves from the Sahasrara, the one who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. So when you offer this Svatna Mantika, the gold hairline jewelry, to Devi Parashakti, you will be blessed with an overflowing Sahasrara and the complete completion. You can offer the Mantika the Devi and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of complete completion and of overflowing gratitude.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the sacred worship offered, the traditional offering of gratitude, that her nails have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. And it is described that she removes the tamas, the tamoguna, the ignorance in the minds of the devotees who prostrate at her feet, and they attain the supreme knowledge. And today you can make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja for Devi Parashakti through manifesting through the Nijavatara, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhana, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and receive the blessings and all the auspiciousness in your life, the blessings and grace of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The last available today is the Vastra Seva, the offering for each and every one of you. And the Vastra Seva, you can offer the Vastra Seva and be blessed with all on your path to enlightenment by both Devi Parashakti and Swamiji himself.
So here you have all the offerings, summary of the various offerings being made available through the website. The traditional offerings of e-hundi, which you can offer in multiple in any amount of your choice. The offering of a chanting described with the sacred name of Devi Parashakti names. You can offer the coins, to offer the anguti, the gold finger ring with the pearl and the feet of Devi Parashakti. Swarnamang Tika, the gold hairline jewelry that represents the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara. And you can also offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the traditional offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru. And you can offer the Vastra Seva, the offering of the sacred. All of these traditional offerings, the divine, are made available. So if you would like to offer make any of these offerings as your expression of your sacred sentiments to Devi Parashakti, as you get ready to receive her darshan today, you can make the offerings on the website, and we'll now project the website so if you are able to see where the offerings can be made. So the website for the offerings is www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan today. And here you have the link for the e-hundi, and you can submit the form on step 1 and make your intention and receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality. So you can make the offering of the e-hundi here, which can be made Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Indian rupees, the Singaporean dollar, the Malaysian ringgit, the Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can make various Alankara Seva or the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the Vastra Seva, any of the Seva. You can make the offerings on the website, Pushpada Swarnameti, the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the Vastra Seva, and all of the traditional offering of Seva and Alankara are made available on the website. So you can click on this link on step 2 and make your offerings. And if you would also like to join as an e-Kailashian on the YouTube channel, you can join. You can click on the join button on the YouTube channel and join as a member and even be able to ask for your prayers and blessings on the YouTube live chat. You can post your messages and any prayers, any blessing requests that you would like to make to Devi Parashakti during the darshan, you can post on the YouTube live. You can also click on the subscribe button and be notified the live. If there are any special events and announcements, you can receive all the notifications from the YouTube channel by clicking subscribe. So go ahead and join as an e-Kailashian member and post your comments on chat. As a member, you'll be able to post any messages on the live chat. So go ahead and join as a member. You can with Parashakti during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. You can post on the live chat. So again, the website for the traditional offerings is www.kailasamailer.com/seva, and you can make a note of this link and make your offerings, any of the traditional offerings that you would wish to offer for the darshan. You can make the offerings on the website as you get ready to receive Devi Parashakti. And with that, now we'll be moving to the next segment where we'll be learning more about the various facilities being made available for the well-being of humanity as guided by Devi Parashakti and by the Supreme Portrait of Hinduism through the various spiritual de facto embassies of Kailas.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes. Nithyananda, everyone, welcome back. So now, we all just our gratitude to Devi Parashakti. And we now have a very exciting news for all of you, AM IST. So we will now be learning about Bhagavan Sundareshwara. So today, through this darshan of Irenar Bhagavan Sundareshwara Paramashiva, you will be able to manifest the superconscious experience of the Shiva Sayujya Samadhi space. So get ready to meet human beings into multi. So now let's watch a small video as he introduces himself.
Shave, shave, shave. Paramashiva, I will manifest the physics of my existence. Cognize this in your Hridaya Akasha, Ganda. You will experience my existence. Sundareshwara Paramashiva. The countless, uncountable by any visualized, assumed mathematics, Brahmandas manifest in me, exist in me, get rejuvenated in me, get deluded inside me, gets liberated inside me. For all the countless Brahmandas to exist, to get deluded.
So let's just reiterate and again see what the Bhagavan Sundareshwara revealed. It's the physics of my existence. You will experience my existence, Sundareshwara Paramashiva. the countless, uncountable by any visualized, assumed mathematics. Brahmandas manifest in me, exist in me, get rejuvenated in me, get liberated inside me. For all the countless Brahmandas to exist, to get created, to get sustained, to get rejuvenated, to get deluded, to get liberated, I am the space. And all of us know that the world is going through a lot of suffering, especially for the past 1.5 to 2 years, almost 2 years now. Change warns that we are on a crash course towards catastrophe if global temperatures are allowed to rise. The window to slow or even halt some of. So now let us watch a small video on the state of our world today.
In 2019, fire was spreading throughout our planet, quite literally, like Australia and the Amazon basin, where forest blazes supercharged by climate change wreaked havoc. In other places, mass protests flared up, fueled by a combination of job insecurity, growing inequalities, and discontent with the current economic, social, and environmental status quo. The little growth we have had has failed to reach those who need it the most. Progress towards higher living standards has stalled for many countries and vulnerable. This has only deepened inequalities which were already growing in many countries.
Yes, so here you can see how our world is today. And according to the World Health Organization, the total cases globally for COVID-19 is about 221 million plus till date. And Healthline.com states that new COVID-19 cases have risen to more than 150,000 per day in the United States. And it could lead to another surge in cases. And souls, listen intensely. You're impossible to surrender yourselves to the delusion. Cognize the ultimate. Sundareshwara Paramashiva exists. Sundareshwara Paramashiva exists. The moment you remember me, call me. I am here. I am here for you. And Irayana Sundareshwara Paramashiva is the greatest and unique manifestation of Paramashiva and the complete manifestation. And he assumes the physical, subtle, and light bodies as and when he wants, plays with all the physical realities and corrects, alters, intervenes, influences, changes, adds, and removes, and deletes anything in the physical plane as and when he likes without even a reason, just for fun. And sometimes Paramashiva manifests as Meenakshi and Sundareshwara as two bodies in one being, and sometimes as both in one body. That is the reason all his manifestations and plays are called the Tiruvalayadal, the Leela. And limitless compassion, Irayana Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru, is manifesting in all his glory as the Purnavatara through the Nijavatara of Supreme Pond of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhan of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And from the Shuddha Advaita Paramashiva Sayuja Samadhi space, Irayana Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru is manifesting through the Supreme Manifestation. And through the Supreme Manifestation, he is giving us the darshan, blessing us with boons, and continuing his divine leelas. And Sundareshwara Paramashiva himself has come down again in the form of the Supreme Pond of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, just to continue his legacy and leela. And to continue being available to all of us, playing his divine leelas, performing miracles in the lives of all the Kailashans, all the devotees, attending to our prayers and giving glimpse, and continuing the legacy of the whole Madurai Shamla Peetham. He has come as the 293rd Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam and as the Supreme Pond of Hinduism to guide the whole of humanity. And when you witness the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, your neurons will mirror that of the avatar. So just by sitting for the darshan and seeing Bhagavan Sundareshwara, your entire body can silently and without movement what is happening, distance is far away, experiencing the superconscious energy rate. And as an effect of the mirroring of neurons, all the powerful cognitions and powers of Bhagavan Sundareshwara will be mirrored in you. So you can just exhale intensely whatever you have, and Paramashiva will inhale in you. So this is the God equation. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism beautifully says, nothing is more powerful than power manifestation science. It is the most exciting spiritual science. You will fall in love with Paramashiva every minute. If he manifests, you know he is real and he is manifesting. Even if you don't manifest what you declared, you will manifest the jnana and vijnana, the knowledge and understanding, and possibilities and powers of Paramashiva will manifest in all of us. So now let us see a small introduction of who the Supreme Point of Hinduism is, the one who is giving us this pure and good. The Supreme Point of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, is Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Point of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities a lifestyle for humanity. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism, Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kailaswanatha Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Peetham, and the present Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akada, which is the largest apex monastic order. So here you can all see pictures of how, from a very young age itself, the Supreme Point of Hinduism has been ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kachi Kailash Sarvagni Peetham. And the next, you can see here now, the Supreme Point of Hinduism is doing puja and inaugurating the deities as the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsha Samrajya. And here you can see the Supreme Point of Hinduism being coordinated as the emperor of the Suryavamsha Samrajya. And here you can see the Supreme Point of Hinduism being coordinated as the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailaswanatha Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Peetham. So you can see the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam and also Swamiji being coordinated as the 293rd. And here you can see all the senior sannyasis and heads in the Mahanirvani Akada are coordinating the Supreme Point of Hinduism as the Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akada. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism is also the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atal Akada, which is established by Mahaganapati. The present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swarga Paramadinam, and is elected in 2015 as the Supreme Point of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism is also revered as a teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed, read, and watched. He has authored 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 different languages, which is deep read and downloaded by millions around the world. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism has given over 10,000 hours of discourses and reaching and enriching over 1 billion lives. He is respected as a commentator of all sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva. Hinduism is also honored as a leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized leader. The reviver of 108 ancient Hindu sampradayas, including the Rudranyas and Rudras, Rishis and Rishikas, Bhairavas and Bhairavis and Sannyas, Hindu University, Kailash and ecosystems. The founder and reviver of over 100 Saivagnipitas around the world, and is the collector of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. And the Supreme Point of Hinduism has also established, as we've seen, he has established various de facto embassies around the world. So here you can see a few of the spiritual de facto that are established by the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So you can see 22 Hindu universities and the Jnanalayas, the libraries, 38 temple monastery complexes, 2,175 Paramashiva Sena Shakhas, 1,800, 19 Hindu kingdoms, the Sarvagnipeethams, 25 E-Kailasas, 1,898 ASP centers, 120 temples, 5,334 healing centers, 22 food banks, 12 animal shelters, 34 satsang temples, 418 Palaka mandirs, and 2,100. See how the Supreme Point of Hinduism's peace walks cover 100,000 plus kilometers, and as he travels around the world to spread and gift the science of healing to 200 journeys done by the Supreme Point of Hinduism, various yatras by the Supreme Point of Hinduism throughout the year. So you can see the Pada Yatra, then the World Tour, then the Yatra, the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, then the Cambodia Yatra, the Bali Yatra, the Kailash Yatra, and much more. So now let us learn more about who Bhagavan. That was a small introduction of who the Supreme Point of Hinduism is. But of course, there is much more to who the Supreme Point of Hinduism is. And now let us learn who Bhagavan Sundareshwara, more about who Bhagavan Sundareshwara is. So Irayana Sundareshwara Paramashiva, vision of the beauty of the cosmos in flesh and bones. Sundareshwara is the embodiment of superconsciousness. And Bhagavan Sundareshwara is the complete man who assumes the physical, subtle and light bodies as and when he alters, intervenes, influences, changes, adds, removes, deletes anything in the physical plane as and when he likes without even a reason. And Irayana Sundareshwara Paramashiva Paramburu is the greatest, unique and complete manifestation of Paramashiva. And is the embodiment of superconsciousness expressed in the human body, playing with all its glory. And he came down in the most handsome form to marry Devi Meenakshi and administer the city of Madurai. And Sundareshwara is the embodiment of superconsciousness, expressed in the human body, playing with all his glory. And he came down as in the most handsome form, known as the Kailasonata Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam, is the oldest Hindu papal state and enlightenment ecosystem and was established by Paramashiva himself. And the kingdom of Madurai was later revived by Lord Sundareshwara and Devi Meenakshi, who as the deities and incarnates of Paramashiva ruled over Madurai and revived the foundation pillars of it as the highest living stream of spiritual sciences. And to ensure that this tradition continues to elevate humanity for millennia, they enthroned their direct representatives and their divine energies in the form of a continuous lineage of living masters, the Guru Mahasannidhanams, with the responsibility to train and groom the kings in administration, constitution, and governance, acting as regents. They also performed the spiritual initiations on the kings and the citizens of the kingdom, imparting the enlightenment science to them. So here you can see Devi Meenakshi and Bhagavan Sundareshwara and one of the first Guru Mahasannidhanams, which they enthroned as their direct representative, which is Tirujnana Sambandha. And beautifully, there's a Shastra Pramana which says that this supreme discipline of Adi Shaiva tradition has been coming down through the continuous lineage of Guru-disciple, Adi Shaiva Guru Parampara, from time immemorial. This has been formulated for the attainment of complete liberation from the repeated phenomenon of birth and death. This is supreme in its kind, with the ultimate benefit of all the souls. And Kailasonatha Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam's rare and sacred lineage of pontiffs has been systematically carried over in an unbroken progression from ages. And the chosen emissaries of Lord Paramashiva, who are the Guru Mahasannidhanams of the Kailasonatha Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam, are the 2012 Srila Sri Nithyananda Sri Jnanasambandha Deshika Paramacharya Swamigal, who was formally appointed as the 290 inheritor, invests duties and obligations to perform the rituals, spiritual, religious, and customary rites vested in the Kailasonatha, and has been reviving its spiritual, religious, and linguistic epicenters at the Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam, the Madurai Yagam.
The ancient temple town of Madurai in southern India boasts of a 2,500-year-old history of. Historians trace Madurai's existence back to the 3rd century BC, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities of the world. Legend says that Madurai was established by the cosmic mother herself, who incarnated as Princess Meenakshi, daughter of the pious king Malayadwaja Pandian. An able queen and a fearless warrior, Meenakshi expanded her empire up to Kailash, her eternal consort, and dropped her arms to life.
Along with Shiva, also known as Sundareshwara or the beautiful Lord, Meenakshi reigned over her kingdom for a glorious 166 years.
In course of time, with the rise of Jainism as a religious force, Madurai too fell to its powerful influence, and Shaivism all but vanished from the Shiva himself had once walked the earth. The ordinary saints of Shaiva Siddhanta tradition, the story Tirunjana Sambandar was once effortlessly defeat the learned Jain monks with his wisdom, healing powers and spiritual prowess, and restored Madurai to her beloved religion, Shaivism, by reviving the ancient Madurai Adinam and the Meenakshi temple, which had fallen to desolate ruin. Madurai Adinam is today the world's oldest living Hindu organization, with a recorded history alone spanning a glorious 1/5 to this very day. Centuries, Madurai Adinam has been patronized by the likes of Tipu Sultan, Robert Nobili, and the poet saint Vallalar. The pontiff of the Madurai Adinam is known by the title Guru Mahasannidhanam, and inherits the responsibility of carrying forward the traditions of Tirunjana sacred work.
On 27 Arunagirinada Jnana Sambandha Desika Swamigal, guided by intuition and inducement by Lord Shiva,
Yogi, a pragmatic social visionary and an adept in sciences. His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda, he brought about sweeping changes to the Adinam, including the renovation of the ancient monastery, Annadan, free food for thousands every day, free medical camps, yoga classes, scriptural study, spiritual healing, and meditation programs. The traditional Adinam now has a website, and thousands participate in the morning worship and spiritual talks via live streaming and two-way video conferencing. Vast properties belonging to the Adinam are being reclaimed from illegal encroachment. Its numerous temples are being restored to sanctity, and the neighboring villages are being adopted, with basic amenities, education, and medical care being provided for all. He dreams of an authentic Vedic Renaissance, for which India has already waited too long.
Here, I take the commitment. We will fulfill all the responsibilities of Madurai Adinam, make Hindu tradition, Saiva tradition alive, revived, lived, celebrated all over the world.
Brand new pontiff at its helm, Madurai Adinam promises to be monges at Madurai Adinam, mirror the changing role of spiritual organizations today, forces forging the enlightened government world.
Yes, so that was a beautiful video on the history of the Kailasa and the Shyamala Pita Savamipita, the Madurai Adini. So now, actually for all of us today, for all of humanity, out of the billions of people on planet Earth, we said, as for us, Sundareshwara is not not a history, but a happening. And Sundareshwara Paramashivoham has come down again in the form of the Supreme Court of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanism, and to continue being available to all of us, playing his divine leelas, performing miracles in the lives of all the Kailashins and all the devotees, attending to our prayers, and continuously giving us boons and continuing the legacy of the whole Mathura, the Shyamala Pita Pita. He has come down as the true Nithyananda and as the Supreme Court of Hinduism to guide all of humanity. And each divine action that was performed became a divine energy and an independent entity. And if you connect with that energy, he will give you the same blessing of that energy. So understand that Sundareshwara is the energy of Leela, playfulness. So now let us look at the Leelas of Paramashiva. So in Hinduism, we actually have 64 arts, and here you can see the 64 Leelas as well of Bhagavan Sundareshwara. And the Tiruvalayadal Puranam is a collection of the 64 Leelas of Paramashiva from the 16th century, and it is a Shaiva devotional stories by Paranjoti Muni. And they describe the action in a number of disguises to test his Leelas. As I said before, in the Vedic tradition, we have 64 different arts, and each leader is accompanied the master. You should have the mastery of medicine, the mastery of surgery, mastery in painting, mastery in dance, and there was never ever such an amazing imagination or visualization of the ultimate without reducing its Ananta Kalyana Gunas into human level. So let us now watch a video where Swamiji speaks on the Shiva Leelas.
Let us start today's satsang in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Jnanakarma Sannyasa Yoga, 32nd verse.
एवं बहुविधाः यज्ञाः विताथा ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे
Evam jnatva vimokshase. Translation: thus worship of the divine energies is performed in various ways. In the beginning of expansion, understand that all of them originate in actions. Knowing this, you will be liberated. Sri Krishna is revealing some of the mystical secrets. Please understand, one example I wanted to give. Brahma in Hinana, Brahma becomes egoistic, removes the ego of Brahma and makes Brahma enlightened. This action, Shiva's energy coming out and removing the ego of Brahma and making him enlightened, this action becomes Kala Bhairava. So when you connect with Kala Bhairava and start worshipping the divine energy called Kala Bhairava, he removes your ego also and gives you enlightenment. Same way, Veerabhadra, Shiva's energy expanded and destroyed the collective, which causes suffering for him many times and to others. Even though you know you are causing unto others, but the pain pattern is so many people, they know if they are out of me, if they are away from me, they are going to create suffering for themselves. But Their ego, arrogance is so strong, they can't live. They can't live around me. I have seen so many times, even devotees, they know if they listen to my teachings and live, they will be out of their sufferings and torture. Torture they are doing to themselves and to others. But they don't want. To others. Shiva's energy which came out and destroyed the Daksha's negativity is Veerabhadra. Veerabhadra did not kill Daksha. He gave life back to Daksha. Bring to yourself and to others is called Veerabhadra. If you can pray, the patterns which create self and others will be destroyed. It's a beautiful Jan Viddidan Sarvan Evam Nyatva Vimokshase. Thus, worship of the divine energies is performed at the beginning of expansion. Understand, originate in actions. Close, then start connecting. Understand? Krishna's Rasalila with Gopikas. It happened with the plants, trees, rocks, whole thing. And the Purnima Chandra, the full moon. Gopikas were also, that's all. It was not concentrated towards Gopikas. Having the sickening suffocation. Many times people do have this sickening suffocation. Come on, then expand. It is time. You meditate on Rasalila Krishna. So each action of divine, each action of an incarnation becomes independent energy by itself. Shiva's one action. Brahma said, and giving him enlightenment, it became an independent energy and liberating him from negativity and negative patterns became independent divine energy called Veerabhadra. Shiva and giving them enlightenment. Dakshinamurti. Just each, when Shiva assumed the body, Meenakshi, and ruled. Just yesterday, I was reading the Akashic records, the night. Earlier when I was seeing, I felt, yes, please understand, in this way, no other geographical place is equivalent to Madurai. Where Shiva has taken 11 bodies to play just in Madurai. See, in one body he has played in many places. That record is there. When he assumed one body, he has gone to many places and did his 11 bodies to do Leelas in one place. Only in Madurai's history, the record is there. More than 11 bodies he has assumed at different times, play the Leelas. The Leela he performed, the first body he assumed to perform the Leelas in Madurai is marrying Meenakshi. To marry Meenakshi and all the Leelas relating Meenakshi and bringing Vaigai to Madurai, all those Leelas were performed in one body. That body is directly under the Sundareshwara's Linga. In the main Garbha Mandir, under the Sundareshwara Linga, that body is, it is there in Jiva Samadhi. River. And converting all the oxes into horse to save his disciple, Manikyavasagar. All those Leelas, around 40 years, were property near Dinamani Takis. There is a place in Madurai, near Dinamani Takis, there is a Samadhi inside Madurayadinam property, it is called Sundarana. And Sundara, people used to think it is one of the 18 Siddhas. It is not one of the, of course, it is one in the 18, but Shiva himself assumed the human body and performed. 40 years he was in that body. That body is resting. In Madurai, the place, Dinamani Takis, opposite to that Takis, there is a property, belongs to Madurayadinam property. There he is resting. And the third body, assumed to give sugar cane to stone elephant, and stone elephant ate that sugar cane. For that Leela, he assumed one more body that is there inside the temple under the samadhi of, under the shrine of Ellamalla Sittar. Under his murti, that third body is there. Still, I am not able to trace the other places of the remaining 8 bodies. I could see cosmically where are they, but in the Madurai, where the remaining 8 bodies are, Madurai map. And give you guys the exact points where the bodies he assumed are resting and radiating. I tell you, if you see from this angle, no other place, even in Kailash, is only one body is resting. There are 1 lakh enlightened beings' bodies are resting. That is different. But his own, the body which he used, only one body is resting. In Varanasi, 2 bodies are resting. Even in Thiruvannamalai, only one body, Arunagiri Yogeshwara's body, only is resting. I was shocked when I read yesterday the Akashic record. It was his favorite. Somehow, Madurai people had a very close, hearty connection with Mahadeva. Even for small things, he will assume a body. Come here and play. This was the place where he was very playful and joyful, without any of the so-called social laws, regulations, rules. Here, he has broken people. He has changed the social laws for Madurai people. He has broken laws for Madurai people. He has done everything possible, socially accepted, unaccepted, legal, illegal, dharmic, adharmic. In which Shastra it is dharmic? You convert the wolves into horses and sell them, and after you sell and go away, all that fellows, they become overnight, they become again wolf and bite and kill all the remaining horses who are there. And that poor king is now pauper. In which dharma it is accepted? In which Shastra it is accepted? He has done everything. Everything down as a worker for the king ordered all the citizens of Madurai should take up one portion and cover it with mud and build an embankment. One portion, one old lady Vandi making all this and sell for people. Hundreds of shops. The outside street, they will be making these idlis and selling. It is still there. It's a tradition of Vandi. So she used to make this pittu and sell. Those days cover her portion, and she herself can't do. She is too old. She prays to Sundareshwara. This whole city still now, any problem, they don't trust anybody else. They just to Sundareshwara, O Chokkanada, Sundareshwara. This guy would have just one thought, the whole Baigai would have built, add embankment automatically. He does not do that. He comes down, assuming human body as much as I want. But I will work only for 3 hours. He says, I will work only for 2 jama. Sorry, 2 muhurta. 1 muhurta is 1.5 hours. I will work only for 2 muhurta, but you should give me as much as I want. This poor lady doesn't have anybody else. So she says, all right, go ahead. You can see what is puttu. Come on. Those days, breakfast. So she doesn't have anybody else. So no other option. She accepts. This fellow finally finishes eating everything she cooked. So he goes and lies down in the banks of Vaigai. I also traced the palace he had in Vaigai. Just in between there, drink and gamble. He will have all these bhutas around and they will play the dice. He will gamble with them. He was not a womanizer, but he was used to drink and gamble. So he went and lie down in the bank. King comes in the east, all parts have been covered except his portion, the Vandi's portion. King got very annoyed and asked whose portion it is. They said this portion. He asked, naturally she won't be able to do. Who is doing for her? They showed this guy is been employed by her, but from morning he is not doing anything, he is just lying there. So king calls him and asks, who are you? This fellow says, who are you to ask me this? King says, I am the king of this Madurai. He says, that is the way so many people were thinking, but actually I am the king. There was a strong argument. Finally, king was very angry and he took his sengol, the golden staff with which he rules the country, and gave a strong in the back of Sundareshwara. Antaryami is the indweller of every. So the whole world, whole universe, including himself, had that beating. Including the king, had the mark of that golden staff, scepter, golden scepter's mark. And king was shocked. There he sees Sundareshwara standing with Meenakshi and smiling. King realized, he fell at the feet of Sundareshwara, asked him to apologize. Then Sundareshwara says, Gandhi's feeling connection, to please her, to eat her food, to breakfast. Till the end, he has not done his job. He did not do the job of building the embankment to the Vaigai. Casual leelas, not 1 or 2, 64 leelas. And Paranjodi Munivar, the compiler, was able to collect only 64, representing all the 64,000 of leelas. The body with which he has performed wolves into horses, foxes into horses. That season, around 40 years, he has performed some more leelas. That body was used by him for 40 years. That body is resting in Madurai Adinam's property. I have taken the blessings of the 292nd Guruma Sannidhanam to build that into a beautiful, huge temple. We will, Gandhi, the old lady, when I remember, God, this very land, he has taken 11 bodies and walked. These very roads, he would have walked and sold the firewood. These very roads, yes, this very road,
He walked and sold diamonds. I'm really going crazy. This very Vaigai, he created this very Vaigai. He himself came and built embankment, at least acted as building embankment. Each action divine energy performs becomes one independent entity. If you connect with that energy, he gives you the same blessing. Understand? Sundareshwara is the energy of Leela, playfulness. Ask him whatever he wants. He has broken all the rules. See, there is a law. Only a human body can radiate enlightenment, experience enlightenment. He has broken everything. He has given enlightenment to pigs. He has given enlightenment to bird. He has given enlightenment to cuckoo. He has given enlightenment to swan. Everyone can be assured. He has given enlightenment to pigs. What a Leela. Sundaresh. Each action of divine becomes independent existence, a divine energy. Shiva danced for the sake of Patanjali and showed the cosmic dance. That becomes Nataraja, the form of Shiva, an independent energy. Meditate on Nataraja, you will have extraordinary spiritual experiences. Nataraja is the Lord of spiritual experiences. Any yogic spiritual experience you want, meditate on Nataraja. Sri Krishna explaining. Many gods does not mean the ultimate is many. No, the ultimate is only one. Its expressions are many. Eham sat vipra bahuta vadanti. One of the very philosophical question is answered by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in this verse. God is one expression.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yoga
Yes, so that was a beautiful video on how what the Supreme Point of Hinduism revealed on the Shiva Leelas. So now let us see who the Nayanmars are. So the Nayanars, or the Nayanmars, were a group of 63 saints living in Tamil Nadu during the 3rd to 8th centuries CE to Paramashiva. And the list of Nayanmars was initially compiled by Sundaras of the Nayanar saints, Karekalamaya, and refers to himself as the servant of servants. And the list goes into of the saints, which were described in detail works such as Devaram. And as we saw earlier, Parameshwar assumed the physical body 11 times in Madurai just to perform his divine leelas. And each divine action became an energy and an independent entity. And if you connect with that energy, Bhagavan Sundareshwara will give you the same blessing. So understand that Sundareshwara is the energy of Leela, playfulness. And the best way that you can connect with Sri Sundareshwara Paramashiva is through the Leela Dhyana. So today, let us meditate on the 62nd Leela, the Leela where Paramashiva heals the Pandyan king's fever through Jnana Sambandha, Trignana Sambandha. So in the clan of Arimartana Pandya king, a king who was known for his magnanimity and who stood tall due to his widespread fame, was born with hunchback. Hence, people called him as Kun Pandyan, the Pandya king with the hunchback. Took birth in the Pandya clan, which had deep devotion for Paramashiva. Due to the ill effect of his long association with Samanar, the people who misunderstood the ideas of Jainism to spread violence. He had not only fallen into in a clan consisting of great devotees of Paramashiva, which fear and integrated in observing the truths revealed in their Goddess Parvati herself protected the child by feeding her breast milk, who was once struggling without his biological mother. After this incident, people are addressing the child as Jnana Sammantan and Jnana Purvaman, as the child that got enlightened at the childhood itself by the grace of Goddess Parvati. The incarnation of Lord Muruga. During the childhood itself, he learned all the scriptures and keep the Hindu scriptures which reveal Rudraksha and the Sharakshara mantra Saravanabhava of Lord Muruga was considered as an enlightened being, and some people worshipped him as a result of their good deeds in the past births and won over the evil attacks of the Kali Yuga. And while the king Kun Pandyan's clan was surrounded by the harmful darkness of ignorance due to the priest who adorned his mated locks with the crescent moon, both the queen and the minister, who had incomparable and deep devotion to the lotus feet of Jnana Sambandha, explained to him about the position of the king and tried to save the king, who was drowning in the heat of the dilapidated well, which was deep. And once king by the Samanaracharyas. And at that time, for the sake of the king's health, very much the enlightened master Jnana Sambandha, while entering the king's palace, remembered the form of Lord Shiva, who all I am Shiva, in his inner space for a moment, and looked at the king, who was affected by the heat of high fever. He showered his grace on the king. Saint Jnana Sambandha, who was a stages of life as per Sanatana Dharma, smeared the sacred ash on the forehead of the king as a result of the good deeds performed by the king. He also applied the sacred feet of Lord Shiva while applying the sacred ash. Jnanasamaya, the divine healing burst, Tiranitrapadikam. And on receiving the sacred touch of the divine hands of Jnanasamaya, which is described in the Rudram, the Vedic chants of Lord Shiva, as the most auspicious, the most holy, and the healing medicine of the three worlds, the king got rid of the high fever instantly. As the heat existing in the stomach of the body, the king was suffering. When not only the physical heat of the king got healed, the religious heat of the Samanas, the people who had misunderstood the ideas of Jainism to spread violence, was put off in the king's life. The eyes of Jnana Samandar got doubly evolved in the hearts of the Samana Acharyas. 80,000 Jain monks, Samanas, were living in 8 mountains all over earth. They were adept in many ways forms of pranayama. When they got defeated by Jnana Samandar while curing the physical illness of the king, the wandering devotee of Lord Shiva, they decided to win over him by debating with him. Hence, all of them gathered in Madurai. Jnana Samandar was an expert in various fields like Vyakarana, Mamsa, Tarka, and was well versed in the philosophies of Upanishads. The moment the Samanas approached him to start their debate, they got stuckly right by the justifications of the philosophy like Mimamsa Shastra, and is well established by the inquiries of the Tarka Shastra. Leaving aside all the valuable justifications, the Samanaracharyas wanted to win over Jnana Samandar just. So all of us just saw the story of how Poon Pandyan, who was a great king who had the hunchback, had conquered the Cheran and the Cholan kingdoms, and he married Mangaikarasi, who was the daughter of the Cholan king. And the Pandyan was deeply involved in the Jain religion, as we saw, and he spoke low of Shiva, of the Shaiva tradition. And Mangaikarasi was a great lady and a woman of the stage of the stage, was a Shaivite. During this period, people belonging to the Jain sect, the Samanamatam in Tamil, entered into Madurai and settled down there. King Nedumaran got attracted towards Jain sect, and he announced an order that all his citizens should follow the Jain sect. This gave a shock to his wife and the minister Kulchia, but they did not have the courage to talk to the king on this matter, and people were afraid to come to the Meenakshi Amman temple. Yeah. Then the queen, Mangaikarasi, decided to pray to Lord Sundareshwara and talk to him on the world of affairs. She took the minister, Kulchia, along with her to the temple and prayed to God. O Queen, I am residing in the Chola country. I am on my visit to various divine places, worshipping Lord Sundareshwara of Madurai. I inquired with people there as to why no one is there. The queen immediately wrote a letter to Brahman. Somehow or the other, hand over this letter to. And the Brahman who came to know that Tirajnana Samandar was staying in Vedaranyam went there. And immediately after reading the letter by the queen, Tirajnana Samandar decided to visit Madurai. But Tirunavakarasar, the Brahmin who had given him the letter from the queen, said to him, knowing the Jains, I, the one who was affected by them, know about Jainism. Further, the planetary positions are not conducive for journey. Please start on an auspicious day. Samandar replied to him, O Lord, we are the slaves of Paramashiva. when Paramashiva is there behind us, what these planets can do. He immediately sang the song, Veyiru Tholi Pangan Vidamunda Kandan Nalla Veenai Thadavi. And even today, those who feel that they will be affected by the adverse positions of planets in their birth chart sing this song. And without bothering about planets, Samandar immediately left Madurai. Mangar Karsi Tiranyana Samandar. But at the same time, the Jain monks, the summoners, got angry and decided to burn the house to kill Tiranyana Samandar. They got infuriated and he immediately sang the Mandir, then went to see the Indian king. And on hearing this, the Jains told the king, O king, this Samandar will not be able to cure this disease. We will cure it now in just 5 minutes. The king shouted, O Jains, just remain aloof. Let Samandar alone. Samandar said, I do not want any other thing. Just bring some ash from the kitchen of the temple. The ash, yeah, everything is going to become ash. Listen, but your consciousness is beyond anything you see. And initiating him into this tattva of life and giving the sacred ash as the prasada, Vijnana Samandar healed the king. And when the tattva started spreading and expanding in Kun Pandyan's consciousness, the shrinking body stood up and the hunchback was cured. And he expanded and became Nindrasir Nadumaranayana. So now, with this beautiful story, the 62nd Leela of Sundareshwara as mentioned in the Tiruvalayadal, let us now see how Sundareshwara Paramashiva himself has come down as the supreme font of Hinduism. Embodied Sundareshwara healed Kun Pandyan. And today, for all of humanity, out of the billions on planet Earth, we are the most blessed people. As for us, Sundareshwara is not a history, he is a happening. And Sundareshwara Paramashiva himself has come down again in the form of the supreme font of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, as Swamiji, just to continue his legacy and Leela, to continue being available to all of us, playing his divine Leelas in the lives of all the devotees, attending to our prayers, and supreme font of Hinduism to guide the whole of humanity. And the supreme font of Hinduism, being revered as an incarnation of Paramashiva at a very young age, was birthed by various enlightened beings, Siddhas, Yogis, Brahmayogis, and adepts to revive these sciences and the initiations and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the super consciousness. And he was of Vedanta, Tantra, Sri Vidya, Paramashiva Jnana, Paramashiva Vijnana, and much more. And in the Hindu tradition, there are actually various ancient sciences which were practiced ago. And one of them is the Nadi readings. So the Nadi readings is an ancient science of Akashic reading in Hinduism and an organized Rishi. And it is an implementations in Hinduism on planet Earth. And this age-old science actually predicts about the advent of the supreme font of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So here you can see the Nadi readings of Swamiji Sundareshwara Paramashivam himself down as the supreme font of Hinduism. It says, Nityananda Sangha, please carefully listen completely to the words. For many crores of Paramashivan has incarnated as Paramahamsa. People became blissful. Just by thinking about him, they achieved bliss. The experience the truth of bliss followed him. So all the life forms in the world are his life. He considers all the people of the world as his people, his children. He lives as the Jagat Guru, as pure Shiva, Sadashiva, as the sun and the moon. And as many enlightened beings and Siddhas recognized the supreme font of Hinduism as an incarnation of Paramashiva, they did the Yoga Pattabhishekam, the coronation of 2008 incarnation of Paramashiva. on planet Earth. Through the Supreme Mataji Vivekananda began the preparations for coronating this occasion. An official letter of initiation adopted him as her only disciple and successor in the Arunachal lineage, coronating and conferring upon him the title Brahmasati. His gurus thus coronated him when he was 16 years of age in 1994, and immediately after which the avatar commenced the expansion work of Kailash. Thus, 27 years of public life till date. And the avatar stepped out of Tiruvannamalai the very next year in 1995, which is the same year his gurus left their body and the purpose of their life was complete. So here you can see the letter given and written by Mataji Vivekananda declaring him and adopting him as her only disciple and successor in the Arunachal lineage. And many other adepts, so many adepts, yogis, siddhas, siddhapurushas, and enlightened beings have actually recognized and revered Swamiji, the supreme point of Hinduism, as the avatar of Paramashivoham. And a few months into her pregnancy, Brahma Yogini Mataji Vivekananda gave specific instructions to Anasuya Ammal, her dear friend, and the mother of Sri Arunachalam, the paternal grandmother of the incarnation, who is yet to be born. And obeying her commands, Anasuya Ammal took her daughter-in-law, Ma Lokanayaki, who is Swamyam, the mother of Swamiji, to receive the blessings of Pundi Mahan, who is a great seer and revered as an incarnation of Paramashiva near Tiruvannamalai. And as Ma Lokanayaki, Swamyam, bowed down to Pundi Mahan, he showered her with flowers and akshita, the turmeric rice, and declared to her heartily, Ammayappane Pirappan, and blessing her that Paramashiva himself will be born to her as the divine mother and father of the whole cosmos. And the 292nd pontiff of the Madurai, the Arunagirinatha Sri Gnanasambanadeshika Paramacharya Swami, is the predecessor of Supreme Pontiff, and since 2012. And the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam actually had the divine vision of Lord Shiva and Devi Meenakshi, who both instructed him to coronate the avatar as his successor and as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam. So now let us watch a video where the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam speaks about, has spoken about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
The 290th Guru Mahasannidhanam, the 289th Guru Mahasannidhanam, all were genius and sages and saints. Therefore, we thought we had a great mind that our successor is genius and a saint and sage. So according to the great grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi, God has given a very powerful, youngest youth and a vital person for my successor. It is a noble gift of Lord Shiva. It was established in the 6th century by Saint Thirignana Sambandha of Sirihari, Tanjavur district in Tamil Nadu. He was not only propagating the Saiva religion, he was not only propagating the Saiva Siddhanta philosophy, he not only sang songs, but also for the upliftment of the downtrodden people. The people him as only Tamil Sambandha, Chandamil Vellayana Sambandha, Vilayudaya, and so on. Many people are our who visited our Adinam. Three about the praise of the Madurai Adinam. Sri Swaminatha Sri Jnana Sambandha Deshiya Brahmachari Swami. And the Bhaskara Sethupathi of Samasthana was a disciple, and he constructed a Bangalore also, our disciple. He was given a honor that Sanmarka Sanda Maradam by our Guru, 291st Guru Mahasanidam. And the Panditure Kaval, the Parashakti in Madurai, Dudley, a governor of London was our. The Professor Mananmani and Siddharanar also are our disciples. Not only that, the Mananmani and Siddharanar college, who came to our Adinam and wrote a book entitled the Tirunjana Sangha of Sirgali, Tanjavur district, is not only the founder of this mutt, leader of Tamil Nadu, but also the champion of social equality, who expelled the untouchability even in the 6th century. Therefore, our 293rd Guru Mahasanidam, Sri Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Swami, the best disciple of Saint Tirunjana Sambandha. The 91st Guru Mahasanidhanam, the 290th Guru Mahasanidhanam.
Yes. So now we also have Mahant Narendra Guruji Maharaj, who was a defender of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and who was not only a member of the Panch of the Niranjani Akada, but also the president of the Akhila Bharati Akada Parishad. So let us now watch a video where Mahant Narendra Guruji Maharaj spoke about the Supreme Point of Hinduism.
मुझे खुशी हो रही है कि मैं ऐसे महान संत के साथ आज इस कार्यक्रम में हूँ.
See, Swamiji is saying that I am the head of the 13 akhadas, but today I am so happy that I am with such a great Avatar Purush and Swamiji.
उसमें कई प्रतिक्रिया मेरे पास आई. स्वामी नित्यानंद जी महाराज सनातन धर्म के रीढ़ की हड्डी हैं.
In Triambakeshwar, I said one thing, that when the media people came and asked me, I said Swamiji is the backbone of Hinduism.
उस प्रतिक्रिया के बाद काफी लोगों ने हमसे पूछा कि आपने ये शब्द के सबसे कहा, अभी तो पूरे विश्व में उसका प्रचार प्रसार कर रहे हैं, तो इसलिए मैंने कहा कि स्वामी जी सनातन धर्म के रीढ़ की हड्डी है.
Swamiji is the backbone of Hinduism. Then I have explained that Swamiji has not only done the work for, but he has done it all over the world, taking the respect and honor of Hinduism all over the world. That's why
ji, who was the head of the Kolda Math, the oldest recorded matha in Karnataka, dating back to more than 6,500 years ago. Let us watch a video where Sri Shantivira Mahaswamiji speaks about the Supreme Content Indians, spoke about the Supreme Content Indians. Okay.
का रूप में नित्यानंद बैठा है और गिरी जी क्या है? ईश्वर का रूप में नित्यानंद बाद उसका उद्धार करने के लिए ईश्वर का रूप में उन दोनों के मेरे सामने भेजा है। क्या है? हम तीनों जो है ना आपके साथ बैठे हैं, आपका सेवा के लिए हम तीनों बद्ध है। सेवा परमघनो योगी नाम अपनी गम्यते। सेवा का चीज इतना बहुत है, उसको वर्णन करने के नहीं हो सकता है, कितना करे तो भी कम है। इसलिए हम तीनों जो किया है अब कुछ है, अभी करने के बहुत ज़्यादा है। आपका शक्ति देने के बाद आप सबके अंदर भगवान है, आपके स्वरूप हम क्या करना भगवान ने बेस्ट। इसलिए गिरी जी महाराज ने, आनंद गिरी महाराज ने क्या बोला है, हम सेवक है, सन्यास लोगों का सैन्य है। सन्यासी कौन होता है? सबको वसुदैव कुटुंबकम अयम निज परो वेदे। क्या होता है? एक छोटा है, बड़ा है, कुछ नहीं है। संतान है, इसलिए ईश्वर का रूप में बैठा है। और
And we also Sri Govindananda ji, who is a trustee, who was a trustee in the Gurugad of the Mahanirvani Pita of the Govindaman. So let us watch a video where Swami Govindananda ji spoke about our beloved Swami.
Swamiji is very grateful that he didn't know about the whole program. We first learned about the Kalpataru Darshan with the hoardings which was put outside, and that's how he know about the program. But he didn't know the structure of the program. But he's so wonder and so brilliance is happening here. For he is really thinking so great.
अभी जब मैं यहाँ आया, महाराज श्री ने मनाया, उसको देख करके ऐसा लगा, उस समय में मुझे पता भी नहीं चला कि मैं काशी में हूँ, सूर्या होटल के प्रांगण में हूँ, सद्य कैलाश में बैठ करके ये आनंद ले रहा हूँ।
The last marriage ceremony of Shiva and Parvati, Meenakshi and Sundareshwara, Swamiji felt as if he is
उस कुंडली शक्ति को जागृत करने का और उस ऊर्जा को पूरे विश्व में प्रवाहित करने का जो संकल्प लिया है, इस संकल्प के लिए पूज्य महाराज श्री को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। हमें एक चीज,
Swamiji is thanking that the task which Swamiji has undertook is awakening the Kundalini Shakti each being and achieving the highest potential. For that he is offering his sadhubad, his greetings, his gratitude.
एक दैवी घटना है कि जितने आचार्य हमारे अवतरित हुए, चाहे वो शंकराचार्य जी हों, रामानुजाचार्य जी हों, मध्वाचार्य जी हों, ये सब दक्षिण भारत में अवतरित हुए और उनका कार्य उत्तर भारत में हुआ। अवतार भगवान का सब उत्तर भारत में हुआ और दक्षिण में जाकर के उन्होंने कार्य किया। तो मैं पूज्य महाराज श्री को भी उन्हीं सेवागम के आचार्य के रूप में अवतरित होता देख रहा हूँ। मैं महाराज श्री के चरणों को प्रणाम।
All the acharyas who South India like Shankaracharya, and they spread the knowledge in the northern India, and Swami Adi Shankaracharya.
सच्चिदानंदोहम सोहम, यह हमारे परमात्मा। हमारे दयानंद जी ने कहा जैसे ही महाराज श्री की मुस्कुराहट ऐसे बिखरती है जैसे रूप में प्रतिष्ठा अपने आनंद स्वरूप को बिखेरता है पूज्य महाराज श्री के मुखमंडल पे और उससे ओतप्रोत होकर के जीव आनंदित हो उठता है। ये पार्ट चेहरा जो है जो अंदर होता है वही बाहर दिखता है, यही महापुरुष की विशेषता है। मैं इनके लिए भी महाराज श्री को, इस सौभाग्य के लिए महाराज श्री को धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि हम लोग इसमें आकर के सम्मिलित हुए।
When Dayanand Shastriji told, which smiles, it looks like the smile of Krishna. But I don't see that. I see that when Swamiji smiles, is Paramatma himself realized that we have been come here, we have been the part of the program, and I am offering my gratitude to him.
मैं आगम शास्त्र के एक श्लोक को उद्धृत करता हूँ। उसमें गुरु शिष्य पदै स्थित्वाः कहा, गुरु शिष्य पदै स्थित्वाः स्वयं साक्षात महेश्वरः प्रश्नोत्तर पदैर्वाक्यम तंत्रम संवतारयेत्। कहा गुरु और शिष्य की जो प्रतिष्ठा है वह क्या है, वह शिव रूप में, स्वयं शिव ही जो है गुरु शिष्य के रूप में प्रतिष्ठा है। आप देखो रामकृष्ण परमहंस जी को सब जगह काली दिखाई पड़ता है। मैं यहाँ आया तो केवल आपके गुरु, श्रोता भी गुरु महाराज जी सामने बैठे हैं, वक्ता भी गुरु महाराज सामने बैठे हैं, चारों तरफ गुरु से सुरक्षित आपका जीवन।
That Guru and Shishya both will be realizing and both are Shiva. And here, when he is here, he is not only seeing Swamiji, Shiva himself teaching, but also he is seeing Shiva in the form of disciple.
उपनिषद जो हमारे सदग्रंथ हैं, वेद का अंश है, उसमें एक जगह आया है जो हमारे आवृत चक्षु धीरा प्रत्यगामान वेक्षत आवृत चक्षु अमृतस्य मिक्षण। कहा आंख बंद करके अमृत की इच्छा करने वाला कोई धीर महापुरुष होता है, अमृत की प्राप्ति कराने वाला है, जो इस लक्ष्य तक आपको पहुंचा देता है। सामान्य जीव को उठाकर अपने आंखों से देखा कि आंख पर पट्टी बांध करके ये जो हमारी जगत की चक्षु है इस पर बांध करके भी हम अक्षर को पढ़ सकते हैं। तो मेरा विश्वास है कि हमारे हृदय में आत्मलिंग के स्वरूप में प्रतिष्ठ परमात्मा सदाशिव के रूप में हम बड़ी आसानी से गुरु की उदार दृष्टि से, गुरु की कृपा से देख सकेंगे। ये हमारे जीवन का जो है लक्ष्य भी हमें प्राप्त होने वाला है। इसके लिए भी पूज्य महाराज श्री को बधाई।
The way that for a common person who can just realize closing his eyes and still can see from his third eye, the person who can do this is not a common man. He is only an incarnation who can do this. I'm really glad to see that it has happened here. And it is...
आप लोगों का जीवन धन्य है। आपकी धन्यता में कई शिष्य को स्वीकार करता है तो गुरु को अपने गोद में हैं। चारों तरफ आपके गुरु जी बैठ करके आपका संरक्षण करते हैं, संपोषण करते हैं। यही गुरु पद का महत्व है। इसके लिए भी पूज्य महाराज श्री को मेरी बधाई।
You are blessed that you are the disciple of Swamiji. And when in this particular place, not only is revealing himself as Shiva, but when you are...
मुझे शब्द नहीं मिलते हैं। जब भाव दिमाग पे हावी होता है तो शब्द नहीं मिलते हैं। मैं महाराज श्री को देख करके इतना आत्मविभोर हो रहा हूँ, प्रसन्न हो रहा हूँ। इस कार्यक्रम को देख के इतना प्रसन्न हो रहा हूँ कि मेरे इस पास कहने के लिए कोई शब्द नहीं है। लेकिन मैं इतना कह सकता हूँ कि यह सामान्य महापुरुष की कृति नहीं है, एक महान व्यक्तित्व की कृति है। यह साम्राज्य जो है उस महापुरुष का है। और मुझे लगता है कि आपको सुंदर दिशा मिलेगी, सुंदर दृष्टि मिलेगी और ये उदार दृष्टि से आपका जीवन धन्य हो जाएगा। इतना कहते हुए मैं आप लोगों के यहाँ साधना शिविर में पधारने की वजह के लिए बधाई देता हूँ। मैं आने के लिए बधाई देता हूँ। बड़े बड़े महापुरुष आकर के इतना बड़ा आयोजन, इतना बड़ा यज्ञ, इतना बड़ा अनुष्ठान संपन्न करते हैं। पता नहीं इस भूमि का क्या भाग्य रहा हो। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि यह ऋषि का गुरुकुल कभी रहा होगा, नहीं तो इतने महापुरुष आकर के इतना बड़ा आयोजन यहाँ संपन्न नहीं करते। मैं इस होटल के मालिक साहब को भी बधाई देता हूँ कि इन्होंने जो है तब आकर के जो है साधना का अनुसंधान करते हैं, अपने जिंदान करते हैं। तो इतना कहते हुए भी मैं अपने वाणी को विराम देना चाहता हूँ और बधाई देना चाहता हूँ कि मीनाक्षी जो अधिकार मिला है इसके लिए 293 इतनी मई परंपरा में हूँ। हम लोगों के लिए बड़ा आसान हो गया कि मीनाक्षी मंदिर आएंगे तो पूज्य महाराज श्री के दर्शन का, पूज्य महाराज श्री के आशीर्वाद का सौभाग्य प्राप्त होगा। इतना कहते हुए हम वाणी को विराम देते हैं और जो है पूज्य महाराज श्री को प्रणाम करते हैं, आप लोगों को आशीर्वाद देते हैं, साधुवाद देते हैं। इतिशम।
I am really feeling short of words. Today is the only day I am not having words. What should I say? But I am so glad that all of you have come here and finished your sadhana and realized. And this, I am also thankful to the Surya who have done an incredible job of hosting this whole program, where an incarnation comes and being present over here, feeling blissful and offering my gratitude to everyone.
Yes, so those were a few beautiful videos that we also where other heads of various mats and adinams have spoken about the supreme point of Hinduism. So now let us see the Leelas of the Avatar. Yes, so just how Trinyana Samandar, who is the embodiment of Bhagavan Devi Parashakti, once again, Sundareshwara has come down as the supreme point of Hinduism and performing his divine Leelas. So just like this, the supreme point of healed millions around the learning how you can make your offerings and how you can offer your gratitude at the feet of Bhagavan Sundareshwara.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Shivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivohananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Nithyananda, and welcome back to this segment where we'll be learning about the various traditional offerings we can offer to Iraniya Sundareshwara Paramashiva Paramparam today. In the Hindu tradition, whenever we go to receive the darshan of the divine, we never go empty-handed. We always take something as a token of expression of our sacred sentiments to offer at the feet of the divine. And there are some traditions similarly. Let us see what we can offer to Bhagavan Halasya Mahatmyam. Says, salutations to the ever-peaceful God, whose lotus-like feet are worshipped by enemies of Madhu and other devas, who has the golden mountain as his bow, and who is the lord of the silver hall, Rajat Sabai, in Madurai temple. Midam Stotram Yapate Bhakti Samyutaha Tasya Yudhirthamyaham Dadamyaham. He who reads this prayer composed with devotion will be given long life, health, and wealth by me. And Irayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru is the greatest, unique, and complete manifestation of Paramashiva. And another verse from the Halasya Mahatmyam describes Halasanathaya Maheshwaraya Hala Hala Lankrita Kandhraya Meenakshanaya Pataye Shivaya Namo Namah Sundara Tandavaya. It says, salutations, salutation answer. Who is the great God and Lord of the town is like fish. Irayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampurul is the manifestation of the beauty of the cosmos in flesh and bones. Irayanar Sundareshwara is the embodiment of superconsciousness expressed in the human body, playing with all his glory. Irayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva manifestation of Paramashiva assumes the physical and corrects, alters, intervenes, influences, changes, adds, removes, deletes anything as he likes without even a reason. Irayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru has given enlightenment to pigs, birds, cuckoos, swan, and every being can be assured of the grace of Irayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru. In this darshan today, and get ready with our sacred offerings to Bhagaveshwara, our expression of devotion and oneness with Bhagavan Sundareshwara. So if you'd like to offer any of the traditional offerings, the various Alankar Sevas to Bhagavan Sundareshwara, the Achalamurti. Sundareshwara is the embodiment of the super consciousness expressed in the human body, playing glory. The Achalamurti, Irayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru. Offering this seva will bestow the blessings and grace to manifest leadership consciousness, excellence in career, abundance in wealth consciousness, and manifesting a powerful inner image. And in the sacred Paramashiva, and the Shiva Kavacham mantra describes the details of the Kavacha, the armor of Paramashiva. The Shiva Kavacham mantra is offered as an archana to Swayambhu Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva in the Kshetra of mantra. When offered, bestows the devotee with the grace and blessings to remove enmity, to remove any negative forces that will might take away one's wealth, and to bestow this and grace for the protection of one's wealth. So you can make the offering of the Shiva Kavacham Archana to Swayambhu Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva link at the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering, traditional offering to Bhagavan Sundareshwara, the Vishesha Dramashma, is the offering of the sacred bath to the Utsava Murti. This Abhishekam is offered with special and blesses the devotee with the grace and blessings for the removal of diseases, to attract abundance in their life for the health and well-being and the manifestation of all the attributes of Hirayanar. And the next offering of the sevas to is the Uttamottama Upachara Puja to Nithyanandeshwara Somasundareshwara. The Kamik, that the best of the best offerings, the Uttamottama offerings, can be offered in the space of oneness with Paramashiva. Offerings, including the Deeparadhana, the of Bhagwan Nithyanandeshwara in the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Param Devalaya in Adi Kailash, who sits along with Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti, and also to the deity of Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And Nithyanandeshwara Pareshwara Somasundareshwara is the most handsome of Bhagwan Nithyananda. So you can make this ready to Bhagwan Sundareshwara. And this seva brings the blessings of a breakthrough in wealth consciousness and health and prosperity. Is the offering of the Swarna Mudra and the Rajata Mudra to the Bhogamurti of Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva. And the offering of the Swarna Mudra and Rajata Mudra is a special ritual offered to Hirayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva. In the Madurai Meenakshi Sundareshwara temple, devotees get to offer the Bhogamurti of Bhagwan Sundareshwara. During all other rituals, the donations offered, the offerings are made in the hundi, but can offer directly on the deity. So you can make this offering of the silver in 3 different denominations. The silver is the silver itihasas, Puranas, in all the Hindu scriptures. It is abundantly displayed that silver represents good health and nourishment. In Hinduism, we believe the celestial bodies in the sky have a direct effect on our bodies and lives. All life, Bhagwan Krishna declares in the Parashakti, when silver is offered, the blessings manifest for good health and the growth and themselves. Whenever silver is offered, it gives tremendous blessings for the nourishment in all aspects of life. So you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Bhagwan Sundareshwara is the offering of the gold coins. Offering can also be made in 3 different denominations. Gold is considered one of the most divine and sacred elements mentioned in all the scriptures of Hinduism, the Agamas, the Vedas, the Shrutis. It is displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built of threatening illnesses. Gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. So you can make various offerings in these sacred and precious metals of silver. And these are so the Rajata Mudra offerings to the Bhogamurti as Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru. You can make this offering in 3 different denominations, 3 sizes. And the Swarna Mudra, the gold of the offering of the gold, definitely in 3 different denominations. You can offer the sevas for Irayanar Paramashiva Parampuru, the Alankara seva to come gracing us as, and you can make the offering of the Shiva Kavacham Archana to Swayambhu Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva. You can make the offering Abhishekam to Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Utsava Murti of Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us as Irayanar Sundareshwara Paramashiva Parampuru, and the Uttamottama Upachara Puja to Nithyanandeshwara Nithyanandeshwara Soma Sundareshwara. And you can make all of these offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And here you can see the down on the page and make your offerings to Bhagavan Sundareshwara as you prepare to receive on the website, where you can choose any of the traditional offerings that you would like to offer. The Alankara Seva, the Vishesha Dravya Abhishekam, the Shiva Kavacham Archana, the Rajata Mudra, the silver coin, offerings of silver coin, offerings to the Bhogamurti, the Swarna Mudra, the offering of the gold coins to the Bhogamurti of Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva. So various traditional offerings to Bhagavan Sundareshwara can be made on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And now with that, we'll be having a live darshan of Bhagwan Sundareshwara. So we'll get ready to receive the darshan of Sundareshwara. Having the alive darshan of Bhagwan Sundareshwara during the Samadhi of the Supreme Pontiff Hinduism. So now as we get ready to receive Bhagwan Sundareshwara, all of you can sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes. Remember Paramashiva on your third eye. And as we get ready to receive Paramashiva, Bhagwan Sundareshwara, intensely chant the Mahavakya and connect to Bhagwan Sundareshwara. You can now sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and get ready to receive Bhagavan Venkateshwara. Intensely chant Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda Parashivoham.